Hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We are very happy to welcome you to our show titled Speak of Africa. As usual, we have a lot of news for you. We are thanking those who are watching our show, and we are thanking those who are subscribing. We need more subscribers. So please do not hesitate. Subscribe and subscribe. What's the news cycle in Africa like today? Well, the biggest news continues to be sovereignty or slavery. Should we be a sovereign nation or should we be a nation of slaves? That's the question on a lot of inquiring minds. Most Africans are asking these questions, and we've decided that we'll have to address this question on the show of today. When you look at the news cycle, the Trump tariffs, we've talked about the tariffs in the past. We told you that a tariff is a tax. It's a levy that is imposed on services and goods coming from another country. We don't want to go into the definition of tariffs again today, but we want you to understand that Trump is slamming this tariff big time. As a result, the tariffs have put the stock market in America in a tailspin. The market has been collapsing like crazy. But my friends, as the market collapses, the stock market collapses in the US, this is an opportunity to start studying, looking for good companies to invest in. So I'm going to be talking about this in another show, where we'll be talking about the best companies to invest money. Because some of those stocks have lost so much of their value. It's more than just a correction. It is really serious. People are really worried. There have also been protests. People have been protesting against Donald Trump. Then even Elon Musk, they have been criticizing him. I think this week we understand that Elon Musk, the South African Afrikaner, has decided now that he would allow Trump to keep the $288 million Trump received from him for the campaign. So what has he gotten for that money? Well, he has gotten a lot of publicity for his company. Trump was inside one of the Tesla electric vehicles and did an ad for him. And Trump has given him a lot of power. The Department of Government Efficiency, that's a department Elon Musk has been managing. But it looks like a lot of the guys who are within the Trump administration are not happy with Elon Musk. So Elon Musk has to leave. So that's the end, probably, we'll see, of Elon Musk. Peter Navarro has been having some skirmishes with Elon Musk. But the Trump tariffs are making headwaves. How is Africa impacted by these tariffs? Well, Africa should not accept these tariffs like a slave. Africa should explore revolutionary approaches as they deal with the tariff issue. Because the tariffs are the main issue Africans are contending with. AGOA seems to be going the way of the window. So Africans don't have much to do with that anymore. But we say, don't just sit by the sidelines, do something about it. The Trump tariffs are creating opportunities for African countries to recalibrate, make changes the way they do trade. If America doesn't want to trade with you, if America is slapping you with high prices, look for China, look for Russia. And that's what some of the countries in the Sahel, like Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, that's what they are doing. They are looking for new trading partners. So other African countries need to follow suit. Don't sit and wait for America. Sooner or later, the Trump folks are going to wake up and realize that globalization means tariffs cannot really win. The world has changed. No country is an island on itself. Countries are interdependent. They have to trade with other countries. So America, I know Trump is facing a lot of pressure from the shrimp industry. They feel imported shrimp from Asia is making it difficult for them to do business. But they have to learn to compete. That's the key with international trade. Don't try to protect local industries. How long are you going to protect them from competition from abroad? Let them learn new techniques of production. Let them learn new techniques of operation so that they can compete with countries outside. For countries in Africa, we tell them, don't just sit and watch. Do something about it. Look for new trading partners. Ignore America. Then retaliate When America puts a 14% tariff on your goods, slap the same tariffs on American goods. Make them expensive so that Africans will not consume them. Okay? This will help you get a more favorable balance of trade and payments. Today, we talk about sovereignty. Sovereignty is what should really help a lot of African countries. Unfortunately, most of them are working with the enemies outside to sell their country to the highest bidder. And that's the problem of Africa. We have presidential plunder. The president of most African countries have captured the state apparatus. They are stealing money from the treasury. The treasury is like their piggy bank, their personal ATM. They can spend as much money as they want. Then why blame foreign countries? We have to blame ourselves. The sons and daughters of Africa, who should be our leaders, are the ones stealing our wealth and giving it to the Chinese mandarins, okay? Giving it to multinational corporations in the West. Look at Angola, that's a perfect example. Angola has a new leader. Even after the exit of Dos Santos, Jorge Lourenço is not really doing a better job. The people in Angola are still criticizing him. So it looks like he's still a slave. Foreigners are benefiting from the oil wealth of Angola. The local people in Angola need to benefit. What about Burkina Faso? Well, in Burkina Faso, we're seeing some positive changes. You may not like Ibrahim Traoré, but this young guy has demonstrated that he is a revolutionary, a true revolutionary. He wants to change the script. When I look at what is happening in most African countries, it reminds me of the days I spent in grad school when I studied literature. We studied tragedy. We studied African tragedy. Now we'll talk about Greek tragedy, Elizabethan tragedy, or Shakespearean tragedy. What is happening in Africa is a bad script. It's like you're watching a play. The play talking about African problems. In Greek tragedy, we blame the problem of the characters to the gods. In Shakespearean tragedy, we blame a fatal flaw, hamartia, of the protagonist. So in Africa now, who are we going to blame? We have to blame the African sons and daughters who claim to be leaders. They are not leaders. They are presidential plunderers. That's what I call them. Burkina Faso is trying to make a change. They are trying to write a new script of revolution. Today, you sent us a video showing us Burkina Faso is manufacturing electric vehicles. So Elon Musk is not the only one manufacturing electric vehicles in America. Burkina Faso has started manufacturing electric vehicles. So this is commendable. You can see the video. Wode Maya, a popular blogger, also shared the video, which I would share with you, showing how Burkina Faso is building a new electric vehicle called the Sahel. This is commendable. So this is a good beginning. This is how Japan started. When I was in Africa back in the early 80s, people used to make fun of Japanese cars. I was surprised when I came to the United States. Americans prefer Japanese cars over American vehicles. So even if Burkina Faso starts making cars today, the quality may not be as good as Japanese vehicles, but just give them a short time. They will improve and they will start making better vehicles. So we think Burkina Faso is on the right track. Burkina Faso is an oasis of prosperity now in Africa. They are paying their debts, then they are using a new model of development. They are not wasting time with colonial approaches. Okay? So we think this is good. The country is on the right track. Then what about Cameroon? Well, we think Cameroon is a perfect example of those colonial countries. Cameroon remains a French plantation. The French have kept Paul Biya in power since 1982, and things do not seem to be changing. In October, there's going to be another presidential election. Who do you think is going to win this election? Paul Biya, of course, are a scam. They are a scam to deceive the people. Before the election takes place, people already know who's going to win the election. The presidential plunderer is the guy who's going to win the election. Paul Biya is going to win the elections. He has his key people everywhere. Kavae Jibril in the National Assembly, right? The Senate, Marcel Nifenji. The presidency, Paul Biya himself. He's senile, very old, over 92 years. This guy should be in a nursing home, but he still runs the country in absentia. He runs the country most of the time from the hotel in Switzerland, Hotel Intercontinental. The wife seems to be the one really running the country with a lot of her cronies. She has appointed key people in places. So she is more like the Marie Antoinette, une femme fatale, n'est-ce pas? That's what is happening in Cameroon. So the president doesn't even have time for anything. He only watches, the wife watches, making sure that people don't overthrow her husband. They are afraid of coup d'etats, the way they are taking place in a lot of the countries in the Sahel. When you look at Cameroon, like this morning, we woke up with bad news in Kumba. Kumba's market is burning. The market in Kumba is burning. I know Kumba, most of you guys call it K-Town. The market is burning. But do you think the Biya government has time to put out these fires? Why is the market burning? The government most of the time is responsible because bad infrastructure, they don't really have safeguards against fire. In the United States, you have fire departments, but you don't have fire departments in la République du Cameroun. Et les pompiers, est-ce que les pompiers sont là? Je ne pense pas. Il n'y a pas les pompiers, n'est-ce pas? Est-ce qu'il y a les pompiers au marché de Kumba? Il n'y a pas. C'est pour cela que le marché a brûlé. So that's why the market burned in Kumba, because you don't really have firefighters. Okay? And that's the sad part. Then, of course, our people in Amazonia, we've not forgotten you. We watch. People say, oh no, the struggle is over. The struggle is not over. Every day we get news. The people are fighting. There's a young guy who is really doing a good job reporting the news on Amazonia on a consistent basis. Fabiano Deco. I think I like his website. I myself, I depend on him for news. He's doing a good job really reporting a lot of news. Fabiano Deco. You can watch him on WhatsApp and Facebook. I watch a lot of his videos. This is a good job. Then, of course, what about the Central African Republic? Many times we've told you the Central African Republic has been having a very bad leader. This is another presidential plunderer, Touadéra, Assange Touadéra. He's a Russian puppet, but is he good for his country? We don't think so. He's trying to run for a third term. This third term agenda is already running into trouble because the citizens are against it. The people want a new beginning. The Central African Republic has been fighting war for a very long time because there's a scramble for resources. Assange Touadéra is a smart mathematician. Can he not calculate his way to democracy? No. He wants to stay in power forever. And that's causing problems in the Central African Republic. This is a country that is endowed with a lot of minerals. But who benefits from these minerals? Well, Assange Touadéra, like other presidential puppets, is exchanging these minerals for protection from Russia. That's what is happening. Finally, we leave Assange Touadéra and move to Congo DRC.
At AUK Tax Service, we understand taxes can be overwhelming. That's why we've been serving taxpayers and tax preparers nationwide since 1986. Why wait for your money? We guarantee fair and accurate tax returns with experienced professionals you can trust. We offer a range of services, including accounting, bookkeeping, and recording, payroll, insurance, and real estate, corporate and individual income tax preparation, tax planning and preparation. Are you a tax preparer or entrepreneur looking to boost your income? Partner with AUK Tax Service for a free, fast, and easy way to grow your business. AUK Tax Service is the ideal partner for check cashing stores, travel agencies, realtors, loan officers, and grocery stores. Facing IRS tax problems? Let AUK Tax Service provide expert assistance to resolve any issues quickly and efficiently. With over 3 decades of experience, AUK Tax Service has been trusted by clients nationwide. We're committed to delivering exceptional service and ensuring bigger refunds. We make tax preparation seamless for businesses like yours. Don't wait, get your fair share with AUK Tax Service. Contact us today and let us handle your taxes with care. Learn more at www.auktax.com. Visit one of our convenient office locations or call us today. Our offices are located in Maryland and Virginia. AUK Tax Service. Bigger refunds. Better service.
In Congo DRC, Felix Tshisekedi is also doing the same thing as Ashanti Ouattara is doing. He's using his mineral resources to seek protection from the Western powers. This time, he's seeking protection from the United States of America. We have a video which we want to share with you showing the Trump administrative officer handling Africa talking to Felix Tshisekedi. He's selling his country for security. Already, M23 are having a dialogue. First, he did not want to talk to M23, but because he's been strong-armed, he has to talk to M23 in Doha, Qatar. Okay? So this is taking place, but he's thinking that if America takes over the country, mining the resources in that country, then America will give him protection. So he's focusing more on his needs as a leader, not the needs of his country. Is there going to be transparency when America comes in? You know the way America does business. You know the way most of these Western powers do business. Without that, there will be any transparency. They will be taking away the minerals in Congo DRC for almost free of charge. And that's the problem. And this is why Congo DRC will remain a poor nation. Even though God has blessed this country with a lot of resources, the people will continue to wallow in poverty. It is sad, but that's the reality. Now, maybe a deal with Donald Trump may give him a reprieve from the fighting with the M23 rebels. Okay? That's what we see happening. You can even watch the video. Let me let you watch the video a little bit. Trump administration visiting Felix Tshisekedi.
Ce que je vais te dire va te choquer. Et pourtant, c'est la vérité, le monde entier dépend du Congo, mais personne ne veut que tu le saches. La RDC possède 60% du cobalt mondial, indispensable pour nos smartphones, voitures électriques et satellites. Sans le Congo, plus d'iPhone, plus de Tesla, plus de batteries modernes. Et ce n'est pas tout. Son fleuve pourrait alimenter toute l'Afrique en électricité, mais les grands projets comme le barrage d'Inga sont bloqués. Pendant que le sol du Congo vaut des milliards, la population reste pauvre. Coïncidence ou manipulation? Écrit. Libérons le Congo en commentaire et partage cette vidéo pour réveiller les consciences.
Thanks for watching this video, but we say Equatorial Guinea faces the same problem. Most of these African countries are facing state capture. The leaders have captured the state, so they use the treasury just like their piggy bank, just like their ATM, automated teller machines. Anytime they need money, their friends need money, their wives need money, they can just go there and take the money. So this money is only for these guys who call themselves leaders. I don't call themselves leaders because they're not really leading African countries. They're just plunderers, presidential plunderers. That's what I call them. Okay? Equatorial Guinea has a perfect example. Theodoro Obiangema, he killed his uncle, took over power. Some people say he has tried to develop the country, but as my professor, George Aite, used to say, there's no such thing as a good dictator. Dictators are all bad. So I cannot tell you that this guy, Obiangema, is a good dictator. What about Gabon? Does Gabon have a good dictator? Well, these are also another Fang dictator, Clotaire Brice Oligui Nguema. On April 12, there will be new elections in Gabon. Gabon has been a French plantation for a long time. It has been run by the Bongo dynasty. After Omar Bongo died, his son Ali Bongo took over. Even though the son was weak, sick, could not walk, his wife, Sylvia, and Noureddin, his son, were running the country and stealing all the wealth of the country. Oligui Nguema, who has been the aide-de-camp of Omar Bongo was not happy with the situation. He masterminded a coup d'etat to take out Ali Bongo. Now he's running the country. He has traded his military fatigues for civilian clothes. And now he's making himself a civilian president. How is this going to go? Well, right now he's dancing, making the people happy with the dance. How long is this dance going to last? Well, it remains to be seen. Let's just watch. But the tariffs are still there. What about Lesotho? Lesotho too is a country that has been hit by tariffs from the United States. What about Niger? Niger is dealing also with tariffs. What about Nigeria? Well, Nigeria has a big story too, because in Nigeria, the tariffs are really wreaking havoc. But at the same time, there's also insecurity. Bola Tinubu came to power because he too said, I'm going to fight and deal with insecurity. But Plateau, too many killings in Plateau State. What are we saying? Too many killings. What is Bola Tinubu really doing? Well, the guy has also taught us that he has read from Obasanjo's presidential playbook of election rigging. Ali Baba, a popular comedian in Nigeria, just shared with us information on Obasanjo's secrets, how you win elections in a country like Nigeria, what you have to do. So we'll have the video, which we're going to share with you. Watch the video and listen to Ali Baba for a few minutes.
Elections are coming. Who will man the purse? I was speaking with Obasanjo one time and he told me, he said, he listed some things. I said, those are the things that are necessary to find the chat. Should I find the chat?
Find the chat. That would be interesting.
I'm just going to read the chat. He said, so no, for him, it was like he thought I was going to go into politics. So he was very happy when I was talking with him. He said, Ali, I'm happy that you are now.
I don't know what kind of witchcraft you practice, because I was going to ask you
about the relationship with him.
No, not just about him. You said he thought you were going to go into politics. I was going to ask you why.
Why I did not. Okay, so no, I'll get to it. So he says, okay, yeah. He says, Ali, yeah, I'm going to read that. Ali, I'm happy you are catching on with politics, but you still have a lot to learn. And I said, like what, sir? He said, like how you get governors and presidents elected. So you need 7 governors to win an election. Lagos, Bayelsa, Delta, Rivers, Kano, Kaduna, and the CBN governor.
To win at federal level, a presidential
election. You need 7 governors. 1, Lagos. 2, Bayelsa. 3, Delta. 4, Rivers. 5, Kano. 6, Kaduna. 7, the CBN governor.
So you just, without, even if you are a political novice,
you know what all this means.
Understand the permutation.
Exactly. And so when I said, but Kano and Kaduna don't have much. He said, that's for numbers.
For numbers. True. For numbers.
He said, and what is money? That's numbers too. All right. He goes to say, you need 44 of the most popular senatorial districts. He said, you need to have awarded 10 contracts, and 15% of that contract can give you marginal impact at the polls. And you must award these contracts in your first year of assumption of office.
Whoa.
Because if you don't do that, then you can't ask the people for anything. Because when you give them at the first year of your getting into office, when it's time for elections, you just tell them, do you want to continue this contract or... they know what to do. He said, you must name your CGN, you must name your IGP, you must name your Controller General Customs, you must name the head of the NNPC, you must name your CBN governor. And if you want to get into the judiciary, you must suspend pending cases of corrupt past governors who are loaded. Don't forget that those guys have chests.
War chests.
War chests that's just sitting down waiting for who they want to align with. No matter how much EFCC milks from them, they still have plenty. These are people who were sitting on a monthly federal allocation. Don't forget that sometimes when, your federal allocation, like some states will mention, when they get their federal allocation, they don't touch it. They actually add to it because their state internally generated revenue is higher than what the federal gives to them. So if federal government gives them 3 naira, they can add 4 naira to it and spend 7. So when they leave office, EFCC can't come look for them because they added money to what federal government gave them. But you see that internally generated revenue, that is their sweat, as it's called. It's their money. They generated it themselves. They can determine anything they want to do with it. Lagos State internally generated revenue is higher than what federal government gives them.
So Obasanjo seized it for like forever.
They call this bluff.
Nobody cared.
They call this bluff. That's what we used to pay salaries. Just and then it says, yes, this is the meaty part of it. Say get US or China support. Because of their businesses in your country, they would support whoever. You heard the fallout from the Senate in this thing that said how they helped Buhari to get into office and remove Jonathan. National Association of Nigerian Students.
NANS.
Market Women.
NURTW.
Unsettled the organized labor.
Settle or unsettle?
Unsettle. Now, organized labor is where you then have people who protest. We are not this, we are this, and we are supporting that. We don't like this. All of that. Comment. There's one other. Get 10 of the richest Nigerians on your side. And we know the usual suspects. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before election. So you have your party. I want to infiltrate the party. I'll send my people to leave my own party and join your own party before the elections. So when the time of elections comes, they would then disrupt the whole thing. They probably will be the ones they put in charge of electioneering campaign. You won't know that the reason they decamp from that side was to make sure that your own campaign doesn't succeed. So when you are planning and saying, no, this is what we'll do this, they inform those people that this is what they plan to do. So by the time...
And later on, you will hear they are going back to their old party.
Exactly. then somebody did it where he said, he was supposed to be... I think Ashiwaju's campaign guy. Then he left to go and support the guy from Kano. Sometimes when these people say some things, you have to respect this. Infiltrate opposition parties and let them decamp before them. Buy delegates 1 year before your congresses. 1 year before the congresses, buy them. So I asked, how do you buy congresses? It's okay, so this is what you do. You know who and who will be selected as delegates. You can permutate and say, this man will be delegates in another 4 years. You give 2 of his daughters jobs in a bank. You give this other person's wife a shop in so and so place. This other person wants to go to Hajj. They go to Hajj. This one wants to do something. When the time for election comes and you say, this is the person I support, because of those people that you have given, they won't mess up. While some people are trying to raise money to give dollars to some people, you already have bought their loyalty since. Have a hand in appointing all party chairmen, all parties chairmen, all parties. So it's not. So when you hear that 2 people are gunning for an office and you are not in the party, you call the other parties running against him and say, you want to be chairman? We'll fund you. Right. Secure INEC and state rec, blogs and social media, religious leaders, royal fathers, appointment of board of chairmen and DGs. It says, refer to number 2. Get 4 constitutional lawyers on retainership.
Thank you for listening to Ali Baba. Next, we'll take you to South Africa.
Tired of waiting in long lines at the emergency room or your doctor's office? You should be. Why wait in long lines for care? It's time for you to come to Lucille Urgent Care. Real care, no waiting. Lucille Urgent Care, the best place for true and loving care. Service at Lucille Urgent Care is convenient, fast, time efficient, affordable, accessible, transparent, and cost effective. Royal treatment is your right. Indeed, it's not just a privilege or pejorative. Skip the emergency room's long lines, kiss the ER goodbye, say farewell to your old doctor's office, pay less, save time, enjoy the excitement of convenience, receive immediate treatment, get the healthcare you need quickly and affordably. Lucille Urgent Care offers many express services: rapid COVID-19 testing, on-site prescription, preventative lab services, imaging and x-rays, urgent medical treatment for common illnesses and injuries, routine vaccines and flu shots, work-related injury services, pre-employment, occupational, annual, and sports physicals, immigration exams, and much more. Same-day treatment, rapid lab results, extended hours, weekend hours, no appointment necessary, no insurance necessary, no doctor necessary, walk-ins accepted, telemedicine available. We are open 7 days a week with evening and weekend hours. We are located in Maryland. Lucille Urgent Care, 903 Half York Road, Towson, Maryland, 21204. Website, lucilleuc.com. Call at 443-275-1286 or 301-593-4897.
In South Africa, you also have the tariffs. The Trump administration has hit South Africa with tariffs of 31%. This is a lot, okay? They want to cripple the economy of South Africa, but is this going to work? Well, let the Afrikaner who want to break away state, Afrikaners, they came to Africa, stole African land, now they don't want to leave. The Trump administration has offered them a resettlement environment in the United States of America. They don't want to leave. If they leave, then South Africans can really enjoy, they can get better land which was stolen from them during the apartheid days. So these Afrikaners are saying that they want to create, because these guys don't deserve a state. They should return to Britain, or they can come to America where Trump will keep them. That's what we think. Elon Musk also is falling out of favor with the Trump administration. A lot of guys in the Trump administration think Elon Musk is not good for business. So they want him out. So it looks like Elon Musk is on his way out. He has reigned just for a few weeks since Donald Trump took power. So things are really chaotic. But South Africa is standing its ground. South Africa does not want America to bully the government. So the people are against the Trump tariff policies. And I think eventually South Africa will win. South Africa has a very big economy. They can really inflict a lot of pain to the United States of America. So it looks like Donald Trump does not really understand the way tariffs work. Tariffs are like a two-edged sword. They have a good side and they have a bad side. It's like you have a knife. The knife has two edges. You have to be careful. If you're not careful, you may get cut by the knife. And it cuts really deep and sharp. Okay? Then, of course, we also have South Sudan, which is also facing a lot of conflict. People are already afraid that South Sudan should not collapse. The government should not collapse and the people face another civil war. Sylvie Carr is running the country also like his personal property. His tribe men are the ones running the country. Then Riek Machar, who is the vice president, was arrested. So this has created a lot of tension in the country. So peacemakers are already on the ground trying to look for ways to bring peace because they are afraid that if the war breaks out in South Sudan, it may spill into many other areas. Already the war in Sudan is having impact in South Sudan. So if there's war in South Sudan now, the impact may even be bigger and greater. So we want our people to start thinking. Tanzania, Uganda, these are two countries where you have colonial mentality. In Tanzania, after John Magufuli died, the new leader, Hassan, is taking us back to colonial times. Magufuli was a revolutionary leader. After he was killed, Mrs. Hassan took over power, but you think that maybe as a lady she'll be more soft and conciliatory and move the country forward. No. She's moving the country back into the colonial fold. So that's not good. What about Uganda? Well, Uganda, Yoweri Museveni is doing the same colonial game. He's playing the same colonial game. He wants to build a political dynasty. He wants to keep the country under the Museveni family dynasty. He doesn't want any other person to run the country. And that's sad, and that's what is creating the problem. So do we have sovereignty or do we want slavery? We'll continue having slavery because a lot of Africans are playing games. They are dancing with the enemy. They are uniting with the enemy to break Africa, to make Africa not to develop. So which is why we are dreaming and asking the African youth to support people like Ibrahim Traoré, because they are the ones who can really bring change to the motherland. A lot of these colonial regimes are just happy stealing money that belongs to the people. So we think this has to end, and we need a revolution. A revolution, a revolution, a revolution. Revolution starts with education, which is why on this show, we're trying to raise your level of consciousness. We want you to create metaphysical rebellion. Metaphysical rebellion is when you decide to rebel against nature, against your condition as a human being, because you are unhappy with the situation. We need more Africans to start thinking. If you're in America, don't stop thinking about Africa. Don't give up on Africa. Some of you tell me you've given up. Don't give up. Some of you tell me you have ideas you can share so that we can use these ideas to develop the motherland. If you have ideas, share them in the comment section, because I want more people to know what you are thinking. Comment, comment, comment. Don't just watch the show as a passive onlooker. Comment and we'll engage you. Whenever you make comments, we also we'll respond to those comments. So we don't ignore your comments. So we're encouraging you to comment, then subscribe. Tell your friends you are watching Speak of Africa, the new show that is raising the level of perception of Africans. Thank you very much.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.